This meeting shall now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Carlett,
Here.
Vice Mayor Binsbacher,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Hunt,
Here.
Councilmember Patena,
Here.
Councilmember Finn,
Here.
Councilmember Edwards,
Here.
and Councilmember Dunn.
Here.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the Peoria City Council special meeting of September 17th, 2019. We are going to begin this evening with the formal swearing-in ceremony for the Pine District Council member. Presiding Municipal Judge George Anaknost will do the honors. And Councilmember Dunn, would you please join the judge on the council floor? I saw him just a minute ago.
It sounded like you said the musical judge.
Oh, I hope I didn't. Did I say that? Musical?
That's my ears, they're very old.
Yes, please have your family join you if you'd like.
Mayor Carlett, members of council, Mr. Tyne, Ms. Hickman, good afternoon. I'm happy to assist in the ceremony this afternoon, and I'll proceed.
Thank you.
Good day. If I could ask you to please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the laws
and the laws
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the state of Arizona,
of the state of Arizona,
and I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
perform the duties
perform the duties
of the office
of the office
of City Council Member
of City Council Member
for Pine District
for Pine District
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Upon my oath,
Upon my oath,
I do so swear.
I do so swear.
Congratulations. Here's a certificate of election. And Mayor Carlett, members of council, members of the public, you may give your praise and recognition to your voice for the Pine District.
If you would like to say a few words, please feel free.
I think John said I had about an hour. I just wanted to read a quick thing that I wrote the other day. As John F. Kennedy once said, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. As a newly elected Pine District Council member, it is my privilege to serve my city and my community. My actions will be that of engagement and listening to the residents who entrusted me to represent them. My mom always said, many hands makes light work. The success of the Pine District and the entire city depends on all of us working together to build an even better community. I will work hard, and I am very grateful to be able to do so on your behalf. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we will now adjourn for a short 5-minute recess. This meeting will now reconvene. The clerk will please call the roll.
Mayor Carlett,
Here.
Vice Mayor Binsbacher,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Hunt,
Here.
Councilmember Patina,
Here.
Councilmember Finn,
Here.
Councilmember Edwards.
Here.
And Councilmember Dunn.
Here.
Thank you. The consent agenda consists of one item, and that is authorization to hold an executive session. I have received no request to have anything removed from the agenda. Council, is there a motion on consent?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Please vote. And the consent agenda passes unanimously. We will now adjourn to executive session.
Appreciate it. Yep, not a problem. Thanks, guys. Absolutely. You guys take care. Have a good one.
The particular scenario that we had was that a hunter had mistakenly crossed a unit boundary. He had a tag for one unit and ended up taking his javelina in the adjacent unit, which is a violation.
Where were you hunting?
Where was I hunting? Well, I started out I was down around here, and it was in this general area. I came out through here.
So the officers in training had to work through that scenario, collect evidence,
I'm not trying to get anything over on you guys or do anything.
and interview the hunter to determine what exactly had happened and what the violations were.
We talked yesterday about you got to take away what the potential arguments might be.
This week of their post-academy training is probably the single most important week. They'll learn skills and techniques and tactics here that will just be invaluable for the rest of their career.
Now that we're actually in the field and talking to hunters and talking to fishermen and talking to people that are in the field and that are our constituents and learning from other officers in the field and kind of outside of that classroom setting, it's definitely feeling more real and it's fun. Afternoon, how you doing? You getting out here getting some quail? You know, because this is what we got in to do, was get out in the field and talk to people and do what we're finally getting to do. Yep, well, very good. Do you have your license? I'll check that real quick.
I do, actually.
I've talked to the other guys and everybody's feeling good. We feel like we're where we're supposed to be and we're learning tons. And that's what this week is designed for. Well, everything looks perfect. I sure appreciate it. It's just pretty cool. This is one of the best jobs in the world, if not the best job, I would say.
This is an outdoor job. You work by yourself, remote from supervisors, remote from backup. You have to enjoy and relish being alone, making decisions, having a wide degree of responsibility. A good wildlife manager is someone first and foremost that has a passion for wildlife and a love of the outdoors. They survey wildlife populations, both those that are hunted and non-hunted. They make recommendations for management. They assess habitat conditions. They draft projects to improve habitat, to restore, recover, translocate wildlife. For the right person, this is the job of a lifetime.
I wanted to be a wildlife manager for lots of different reasons. I grew up in the outdoors, so I really have a respect for the resource and I want to be able to protect the resource.
Yeah, that's what I've always wanted to do, get out there in the field, be out there with the wildlife and help protect and conserve our wildlife.
And I want my kids to have a resource, and if I'm not here to protect it, then it's going to be gone. And because there's a lot of people abusing it right now.
You see people doing illegal stuff, and you report it, but you don't feel like you can do anything about it. So I think that's the thing I'm looking forward to the most as far as being able to have an impact physically, get out there and contact people and catch poachers and that type of thing. So that's going to be my passion.
You know, it was simple to me. I grew up in the outdoors. I grew up following in the footsteps of my dad and my grandpa, and I went to school when I was 19 at NAU and wanted to become a wildlife manager, and then life set in, and you know, got married and had kids, and in the back of my mind I kept telling myself that when my kids grew up, when my youngest son turned 18, I was going to go back to school and get my degree in biology. And I did. When my son turned 18, I was 42. I quit everything I was doing and I went down to ASU. Pretty much had to start over with my schooling, and it took me 3 years, graduated, and here I am. This is my life. This is what I've always wanted to do.
There's a lot to know and always more to learn about processing a crime scene or enforcing the OHV laws that regulate off-highway vehicles. One week, the recruits are on dry ground. The next week, they're all wet.
When you start adding all of this other weight, it not only changes you physically, but it also affects you a little bit mentally. So the thing is these are skills that can be practiced. You guys can improve your ability to tread water and control your breathing by doing deep breathing exercises and working on cardiovascular training.
They're going to be panicking, so give them a heads up. Life free coming, heads up! Heads up!
Knowing how to stay safe around water is important when the job description includes watercraft enforcement on Arizona's lakes and streams. It won't be long before these WM recruits are out on their own, but first they'll spend a few more weeks out on the road with experienced field training officers. In the meantime, how about a little recap?
A wildlife manager is the delegate from Arizona Game and Fish Department to the communities of Arizona. They are half-time wildlife biologists,
committed to conservation.
They are half-time law enforcement officers,
putting poachers out of business.
We are truly Arizona's law enforcement in the mountains, the deserts, the prairies, the waterways, the lakes.
They're the scientists with the sidearms.
Yes, we're the biologists with the guns.
And these new WMs are out there now, looking after you and your wildlife in all of Arizona's wild and wonderful places.
Feeling trapped? crushed? Is city life bringing you down? Sometimes you just have to get out.
If you really want to get out and enjoy what this great state has to offer, you should see what it looks like from the seat of an off-highway vehicle. How do you get started? There are several ways. Before you think about going out and buying an OHV, you can always rent one for a day or two. There are plenty of places across the state to rent a machine. Many of them host trail rides. Remember, safety first. There are a few items you should consider buying for yourself when you get started. Get yourself a helmet. There are plenty to choose from, and make sure it fits properly. It should be snug but comfortable. It shouldn't move around when it's on your head. And make sure it's approved by the Department of Transportation. Get some goggles. You'll need these if the helmet doesn't have a built-in visor. Don't forget riding gloves. They come in all kinds of styles. Wear over-the-ankle boots and long pants. You'll need to have a long-sleeve shirt as well. These machines are powerful. One of the smartest things you can do is take an off-road riding course and get some training under your belt. These courses are fun and educational. They'll give you the foundation you'll need to have a great time on the trails. Arizona has dozens of places you can go riding. You can find maps and directions online on several websites. Remember, stay on the trails. Now, one of the best ways to explore new trails is to join a riding club. Riding clubs go out on trail rides throughout the year. It's a great way to meet new people and explore new passages and find hidden treasures with a group of friends. The Arizona Game and Fish Department has brochures with maps and information to get you started. It even has a safety checklist. You can also check out the website at azgfd.gov/OHV.
We ended up getting 3 phone calls into the radio room that there was a deer in the CAP canal right here off of the Carefree Highway. You know, they're looking for water, and they just see the water. They think they can scale the sides of the concrete here, and it is pretty slippery. And he slipped into the water, and unfortunately we have no idea how long he was in the water. When we arrived here, we found that there were already 2 cowboys that actually had arrived and had already jumped the fence and started working this, ended up being a little spiked mule deer. They had lassos and were very, very helpful in containing this mule deer. You could tell he was stressed and he was cold. Water's pretty cold. At that time, we were able to get that mule deer just to the bridge, where one of the cowboys was able to drop a lasso directly onto his antlers and was able to hold him. At that time, they drug him out of the water. We were able to contain his feet, loaded him into the back of a truck, got him into the park itself, into the Lake Pleasant Park area. And as you can see from the video, it took a little bit for him to stabilize, probably from the stress, and frankly, the water's pretty darn cold. We kept talking to him and telling him, "You've got this, you know, just shake it off." He was shivering, you could tell he was cold, but he sat there for about 20 minutes, warmed himself up, and finally, you know, got his wits together and was able to run off back out into the desert. It is a great feeling to be able to do something like this. And again, this is what it's all about with Arizona Game and Fish and the citizens here in Arizona that are concerned, like those 2 cowboys who stopped, you know, made time out of their day to do a rescue and assist us with this rescue. We're very, very, very grateful for them.
There's a simple truth in nature. Where there's water, there's wildlife. But sometimes wildlife has a hard time finding water, especially during drought and almost always in the desert.
You know, this is the Sonora Desert, and you know, it's hot and dry, really hot and dry during the summer.
Here's another simple truth. Where water's running out, the Arizona Game and Fish Department is often digging in.
Well, we're in the beginning stages of a wildlife water development.
Mark Freeberg is the wildlife manager for this swath of Sonoran Desert about 50 miles southwest of Tucson.
We're in Game Management Unit 36C. It goes all the way from 3 Points to the border, boundaried by 286, Highway 286 on the east and the Bobakivri Mountains on the west.
It's mule deer country, but when Freeberg surveyed the area, he didn't find much water for deer to drink. That's why he requested this project.
What it is a rain catchment. Some of the units, they have, you know, anywhere from 6 to 10. Even in the Yuma region, I think they have over 100 wildlife catchments in them. And this unit actually has one. This will be the second one.
6 1/4.
That just kind of speaks for the need of water in the unit. So it is about time.
The folks doing the work are from the development branch of Arizona Game and Fish. Today, they're getting some help from the Arizona chapter of the Safari Club and the Santa Rita Landscaping Company.
We're basically providing some of the equipment service and the operators to dig the holes for the tanks and prep the site. I'm a user of wildlife, I'm a watcher of wildlife, and so to be able to give back to wildlife is a great thing.
Put in this water catchment. That's our main goal.
Toby McMillan is the field crew supervisor and a new kid on the block.
See, right there is 9-6. It's my first one.
But his crew has more than 60 years of experience.
Almost 10 years.
Just about 20 years.
34 years.
They almost work like a machine, you know, from one step to the next. So, you know, I get to learn a little bit from them about how this all goes together.
Arizona Game and Fish has been building water developments for wildlife since 1946.
Yeah, in the 50s they started off, they were mainly cement vaults. They worked very well, but they didn't have capacity.
One of the biggest vaults is only 2,500 gallons. They would go dry and we were hauling water to them every year.
The department currently maintains about 1,000 catchments all across the state.
We had a fiberglass system, which was fiberglass ring tanks, and this is the latest and greatest design now is polyethylene tanks.
The latest water catchments are designed to be low maintenance and to last about 50 years. But the biggest improvement is capacity.
With this system, like we have 4 2,500 gallon tanks, that's 10,000 gallons.
If they fill up, they will last a long time. We leave on Tuesday, we load everything up on trailers, get all the equipment out here, all of our supplies, and we'll set tanks and we'll set the drinker. We spend 8 days out here, 10-hour days. You gotta love the camp. It's a job for an outdoorsman, for sure. I love working for wildlife. I love doing what I'm doing for the wildlife. I love being out in the field. I mean, I just love being camped out, working outside.
This, you know, I get to live and work in the woods, you know. This is my office and that's what I prefer. Yeah, if you're an outdoorsman, this is a great, great job.
The development crew connects the 4 2,500-gallon tanks to the drinker with 3-inch PVC pipe. The project will cost about $43,000. About half of the cost is covered by revenue from special hunting tags that are sold at auction. $10,000 was donated by the Freeport-McMoran Mining Company. The rest comes from a federal excise tax on the sale of guns and ammo. A metal apron that will collect rainwater is installed above the tanks.
We put a fence around it, usually 150 by 150 steel rail fence. It's a wildlife-friendly fence, and keep burros and cattle out. Our job is basically wildlife habitat improvement. I mean, in Arizona, the thing lacking is water.
The Bighorn Sheep Society has a saying, Sanagua mortis, without water, death. And it's so true, especially in this state. And so it's really satisfying to get done with a project and know that there's a reliable source of water for the animals.
We got an apron that collects the rainwater, that's covering the tanks, that protects the tanks in a way too. So the rain falls on the apron, it goes down in the gutter, goes through pipelines into the tanks. In the bottom of the tanks, there's a pipeline that goes to the trough, and the wildlife can get their drinks out of the trough.
The job isn't finished until the crew cleans up its campsite and makes sure no tracks are left behind.
The most satisfying aspect is probably when you're done with it, you know you did something for wildlife, and when you see deer start using it, and it's a great feeling.
Building a water catchment is a lot of hard work, but the payoff is worth it. Because where there's water, there's wildlife.
Ah, the wonderful world of wildlife. Hope you enjoyed today's show. For more information, go to our website at azgfd.gov. For all the fine folks at Arizona Game and Fish, I'm Jim Paxson. See you next time.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the opening ceremonies for the Moving Wall. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dave Kasmis, and I'm a retired Army colonel who served on active duty proudly for over 24 years. I am also equally honored to be here today to serve as your Master of Ceremonies. The City of Peoria and the Veterans Memorial have been working very hard to bring the moving wall to Rio Vista Community Park for more than a year, and we are pleased to have you join us today as we make that vision a reality. Now, before we start with speeches, it's always incumbent to introduce the dignitaries that are with us today, and you can always tell how important a ceremony is by the list of dignitaries. But and we have a list today, but first and foremost are the veterans present today who served in Vietnam. Now, veterans, if you're seated, I ask you to please stand, and if you're standing, please raise your hand so that we can recognize you. Senator Rick Gray, the state senator from Legislative District 21, is also here with us today. Senator Gray. I'll ask you to hold the applause till the end, please. From the city of Peoria, we have our mayor, Kathy Carlat. Vice Mayor, Bridget Binsbacher. Mayor Pro Tem, Vicki Hunt. Council Member John Edwards, Council Member Mike Finn, Council Member Bill Patena, Council Member Danette Dunn, our City Manager Jeff Tyne, our Deputy City Managers Eric Strunk, Katie Gregory, and Andy Granger. NHS Directors, Chris Hallett, and the Deputy Director, Kelly Kincaid. PRF Director, John Sefton, and the PRF Deputy Director, Chris Calcaterra. Some other officials that are attending with us today are the staff members from Congressman Debbie Lesko's office, Chelsea Lett and Ken Fulbrier. And from our neighboring Surprise, Council Member Roland Winters. Thank you. Thank you for the correction. How about a round of applause for all the dignitaries? At this time, I'll ask you to rise for the posting of the colors by the Luke Air Force Base Honor Guard, to be followed by the playing of the national anthem by the Centennial High School Marching Band. Please post the colors. Please remain, you may order your arms. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by First Sergeant Retired Tad Snedeker, United States Marine Corps. Tad is also the chair of the Peoria Veterans Memorial Board and was a key player in coordinating all the efforts to bring the moving wall to Peoria. First Sergeant Snedeker, will you please lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Please remain standing for the retirement of the colors. Thank you again, First Sergeant, for leading us in the pledge. It always makes me get it right here in the heart when we say those precious words. Now, please be seated. When you're the master of ceremonies, you often use words like, it's an honor, it's my pleasure, it's this or it's that. But when you introduce the mayor of Peoria, those aren't just words, those are heartfelt. We are blessed in this great city to have a great mayor. In fact, Mayor Catlett took the office as the Peoria's first female mayor in January of 2015 and was re-elected in 2018 to serve a second four-year term. Aren't we all blessed by that? Now, she's well prepared to be our mayor, as she served over almost 15 years on the city council, being elected 3 times to that position in the largest and fastest growing district. Please join me, and it's my honor to introduce the Honorable Kathy Carlott.
Good morning, everyone. I see all of the smart ones are in the shade there. I'm not one of those, obviously. I do want to thank you all for being here today. You know, Peoria is home to a lot of really remarkable places, but being here in this beautiful, gorgeous park in the midst of our Veterans Memorial that we revere so much, I just have to say that this is one of my favorite places. And this week we have added something truly sacred to this meaningful gathering space. For nearly 35 years, the Moving Wall has been touring the nation, sharing the legacy of the 58,318 men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice in the name of duty and devotion to our country. It's my honor to be here among distinguished guests as we remember and celebrate the individuals on this wall, our honorable Vietnam veterans. First, I want to take a moment to acknowledge a few people who have made this day possible. And I will begin where the concept to bring the Moving Wall to the city of Peoria began, with Councilmember Bill Patena. Yes. Bill, as the council liaison to Veterans Affairs, you have made it your mission to advocate for our veterans and to spread awareness of their courage and their compassion. On behalf of the city of Peoria, thank you for your vision, thank you for your heart, and thank you for your leadership to bring this Moving Wall to our community. Let's give him a round of applause, everybody. The Moving Wall is truly exceptional, and I am grateful that we have the opportunity to honor some of the men and women that contributed to the freedoms and the liberties that we enjoy today. This wall deserves to be tended and guarded and treated with honor around the clock, which would not be possible without the help of dedicated volunteers. Over the next few days, you'll see more than 120 residents from across our great city who stepped up to honor not only the individuals on this wall, but all Vietnam veterans. Of these volunteers, nearly 60 are from the Trilogy Veterans Club. To the members of the Trilogy Veterans Club, thank you for your service to our nation and thank you for your continued support of our community. Let's give the Trilogy Veterans Club a round of applause. We are also fortunate to have the members of the Westbrook Village Veterans Club assisting. Colonel Dave Casmus, our Master of Ceremonies, is with us representing this amazing group. Colonel Casmus and the Westbrook Village Veterans Club, thank you for your service and thank you for your continued leadership. I would also like to recognize Sergeant Tate. We look forward to hearing your story in just a few minutes, and thank you for being with us today. And last, but certainly not least, I want to welcome my friend, the former mayor of the city of Peoria, Bob Barrett. Mr. Barrett is a Vietnam veteran and he has spent his life in the service of others. It's an honor to have you here today. The Vietnam War has been defined as one of the most controversial and lingering wars in American history. It was a time of cultural and political upheaval in our country. Chaos and wayward judgment seemed to be the presiding doctrines of the day. But there was no action as egregious as the lack of support given to our military. It is truly a stain upon our history. The Vietnam Veterans of America organization was founded in 1978 on this principle: never again will one generation of veterans abandon another. I think it is truly a sin that a statement like that ever had to be said. And then in the midst of all of the turmoil that was happening in our country, nearly 3 million Americans served by duty and devotion their country. Some volunteered, most were drafted, all served selflessly. By the end of the war, more than 58,000 Americans lost their lives, and today we gather together to honor these veterans. One of the names on the Vietnam Memorial is U.S. Army Major Michael Davis O'Donnell, a pilot with the 170th Helicopter Assault Company. Major O'Donnell was on a dangerous mission to rescue some of his brothers grounded in Cambodia in hostile territory. Shortly after he retrieved his comrades, his aircraft was hit by enemy fire. He was 24 years old. He was a talented singer, guitar player, and a poet. Today, Major O'Donnell's name lies eternally alongside tens of thousands of Americans who made the ultimate sacrifice. A few months before he was taken from this world, Major O'Donnell wrote a poem, which I'd like to share with you today. If you are able, save them a place inside of you, and save one backward glance when you are leaving for the places they can no longer go. Be not ashamed to say you love them, though you may not have always. Take what they have left and what they have taught you with their dying, and keep it with your own. And in that time when men decide and feel safe to call the war insane, take one moment to embrace those gentle heroes you left behind. To our men and women in uniform, past and present, God bless you and thank you for your service. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Now I'd like to welcome to the podium Staff Sergeant David Tate. Our mayor just gave you a little bit of background to him, but David is a Vietnam veteran and served in the United States Air Force as a crew chief for the famed F-14 Phantom aircraft. As the mayor mentioned, his commitment to selfless service continues to this day as he provides critical volunteer support to Peoria's police department. Please join me in welcoming Staff Sergeant David Tate.
Good morning, everyone. And thank you, Colonel Cosmas. I'd like to thank all the people that come out this morning. We know it's hot, especially so early, to commemorate this wall and the 58,318 Vietnam veterans. They have given us the ultimate gift. I have been introduced as David Tate. I was a staff sergeant. This is the original shirt that I wore in 1968. Well done. I was also a crew chief on the F-4 Phantom, and this F-4 Phantom gave a lot of ground cover to our Army and Marine troops that took care of the ground. We already talked about the fatigue, so I'll skip that. Over to my right is the Huey helicopter that was also dedicated to us. That chopper actually flew missions in Vietnam in 1968. So it and I were also there in 67 and 68. Let's talk a little bit about the wall. I guess that's why we're here. The wall is of special significance to me since I visited the original wall in Washington, D.C. On that wall are many names of friends and fellow troops. It was very heartbreaking to see the names on this 246-foot wall. It tapers like this because it starts at ground level, and then the sidewalk goes down into the ground, and at the center point, it's 10 feet high. That gives you a little idea of how eerie the wall actually is when you see it in real. It feels sort of like you're sharing time with all the people on that wall as you watch it and see it go up and up and up. I was one of the lucky ones to come home to this great country. It was my honor to serve and my honor to be here today. Thank you very much.
David, thanks for those reflections and for your service. Equally impressive is that you can still fit in a shirt that's 50 years old. Our final speaker today is Ironwood Council Member Bill Patena. Bill needs no introduction. The mayor has told you everything that he's been about for this wall and for this park. But what you may also want to know is that Bill serves as the council liaison to the Veterans Memorial Board. As she said, he was the guy who thought of bringing the moving wall to Peoria, and we can't thank you enough for that. But Councilman Patena also serves as the regional liaison for Peoria's Veterans Affairs, and he serves on the Luke Air Force Base West Valley Council. He's been at the forefront of the creation and expansion of the Peoria Veterans Memorial, which surrounds us here today. Please join me in welcoming my council member, Bill Patena.
Good morning, and good morning to all our veterans that are in attendance today, and especially our Vietnam veterans. The City of Peoria is extremely proud to present to its Peoria citizens and to the residents from all over the valley the Traveling Vietnam Wall. As the mayor said, this wall has been traveling the United States for over 30 years, giving hundreds of thousands of people the opportunity to visit this replica of the real wall located in Washington, D.C., and who might not otherwise have had a chance to see this amazing presentation. I have some interesting facts that I would like to share with you about this wall. As the mayor said, there are 58,318 names on the wall. The names are arranged in order in which they were taken from us by date, and within each date, the names are alphabetized. The first casualty was Richard Fitzgibbon, having been killed in 1956. His name is listed on the wall with that of his son, who was also killed September 7th, 1965. There are 3 sets of fathers and sons on this wall. 1,448. 39,996 were just 22 years or younger. For them to arrive home. 8,283 were 19 years old. 33,000 were just 18 years old. 12 were 17 years old. Lost 2 of their sons. 5 were 16 years old. 54 soldiers, and 1, believe it or not, was 15 years old. Same high school. 997 soldiers were killed on their very first day in Vietnam. 244 were 1,448 soldiers were killed on their last day. And while their family was waiting for them to arrive home, they were killed, and instead 75 lost 6 soldiers. West Virginia had the highest casualty rate per capita in the nation. 711 West Virginians are on this wall. The most casualty death for a single day was 245 men. The most casualty deaths for a single month, 2,415 men. For most Americans, they will only see the numbers that the Vietnam War created. To those of you who survived the war, and to the families of those who did not, we see the faces. We feel the pain that these numbers created. You are, until you too pass away, are haunted by the numbers because they were our friends, our fathers, husbands, wives, sons, and daughters. There are no noble wars, just noble warriors. So here we are this morning to honor all those who are on the wall. And I could not be more proud or honored to be here with you today. It's been almost 50 years since the end of the Vietnam War, yet here we are visiting this place once again to remember. You can step towards the wall and reach out and touch a name. We can then recall all those who gave everything in the dark.
Allocation of state shared revenue, which is an important part of our general fund revenue as well. It also determines our accurate representation for our district form of government. Also, it is the foundation for future planning for such folks as Chris Hawkes, our Planning and Community Development Director, to make important calls with our general plan. And as a result of that, Chris and Jen Stein, our Communications Director, are leading our census count effort here at the city and doing a wonderful job, and thought that they could provide you an update on the Census 2020 process. So I'll pass it to them.
Great. Well, thank you, Mr. Tyne, and good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you for the time tonight. It's our pleasure to talk to you about the census. And well, with it getting later in the year, it means we're on the doorstep of a new decade, right? And that being 2020, which means it's time to work on the national obligation, which is to conduct a decennial census. It's now upon us. So I'm joined by Jen Stein on my right, and what we're going to do today is we have a two-part presentation. I'm going to give share some information about the census to the council, maybe dispel some myths for those that may be watching tonight, and then talking about our efforts to engage the community through a complete count committee. And then I'll turn it over to Jen, and she's going to talk about our regional local efforts in terms of trying to heighten awareness and promote participation. All right, so we are now 196 days away from census. April Fool's Day, same thing as Census Day. So the obligation to conduct a decennial census is embedded within the U.S. Constitution, and it requires that the Census Bureau, as the responsible agency for the census, actively attempt to reach each person residing in the U.S. and its territory. So I think the word reach is important here. It's not just simply count, but reach as well. And that's why it's not just a one and done proposition. They don't just send a letter in the mail, and if you don't respond, well, then we have a non-response. They will try to get your answer. You know, they might come to your door several times, but it's very important that every person residing in the country and its territories be counted, because it's got implications, not only for apportionment of representatives, but also the funding that is then brought back to the state and to the local community. So it's really important that we do everything we can to count everybody. Okay, so that gets us to the importance of the U.S. Census. We've talked about a few of those things. When the framers set up the need for the census, they chose population to be the basis for power sharing rather than how much somebody made or how much land somebody owned. It was about population. So it was important to count the entire population where each person usually lives within that year. The first U.S. Census was conducted in 1790. As you know, the primary purpose was as a basis to apportion representatives in the U.S. House of Representatives. So if you see on this map here, based on population trends, in fact, in 2020, Arizona is projected to pick up a new congressional seat. So as you know, they form a significant part of our city budget. All right, let's talk about money a little bit more. So the graphic you see up here, if we want to better understand the fiscal impacts of the 2020 census on U.S. states and local areas, George Washington University, they conducted a study, and what they did was they looked at all federal assistance programs, and they based those programs that they were looking at based on data derived from the decennial census, the 2010 census. So they looked at specifically 55 federal programs, and they noted that approximately $883 billion from the federal government was distributed to states in FY 2016. Of that, Arizona received about $20.5 billion. So that's money they received from the federal government based on population of the 2010 census. So that equates to about $3,000 per capita, or looked at it another way, $30,000 per capita per decade. So it just gives you kind of an idea of the significance of each person being counted. So in the meetings that Jen and I attend regionally, the state demographer has indicated that $3,000 per capita is the number we should be using in terms of what an impact of each person counted is upon the state. So as you know, it's vitally important that each community receive its fair share, because its fair share then translates into services and funding that we get from the state and the federal government. Okay, so let's talk about what's new with the census. There are some new things with the census. Technology's changed a little bit, so for the first time, the 2020 census will be able to fill out the form via the internet, right? That wasn't available in the past. And so what'll happen is, well, all of us that will get I guess we'll get a PIN number, but if we don't have the PIN number, we can still fill it in with our address, but we'll have that available to us. If you don't want to use the internet, you can also fill out the form via the mail, the snail mail, or you can call in person. And if you don't want to do those 3 forms, well, you can just wait for the Census Bureau to visit you, and they will several times, and hopefully try to get your information. Census form is going to be published in 13 languages and 2 on the mailer, and as you would imagine, English and Spanish on the one to Arizona.
Chris, can I interrupt you for a second? If you fill out a form online, does that mean no one is going to come to your house and knock on your door?
Mayor Carlett, members of the council, that's correct. That's correct. Then you fulfilled your obligation. You've been counted then.
And so somebody is coordinating that in the Census Bureau.
Correct.
So they know.
That's correct. In fact, if you, the yellow box, the Census Bureau has told us that 95% of us nationally will get a census invitation in the mail. There are some addresses that only have a P.O. box. They will actually visit those addresses. And then there are some others that are really remote. So if you think of Alaska, some of those places, they'll actually visit those sites in person. They won't have the opportunity to do it online. But most of us will get an online invitation.
And also, Mayor, Council, they're going to monitor this in real time and provide data to us to indicate which areas are responding so we can push our media or communications in hard-to-count areas and kind of decipher where we need to target based on that. And that's a new feature this year.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's right.
Thank you.
Okay, so what else is new with the U.S. Census? This isn't really new, but I wasn't aware of this. So the long form, do you all remember the long form they used to do? Some of us would be sampled and we get the long form. Actually, they haven't been doing that since 2000. I was surprised by that. So that was removed after the 2000 census. What replaced it was something they call the American Community Survey that's done annually. And so a sampling of the population gets that form. It's just basically a longer form where they try to assess a broader set of demographic variables. They don't use that for reapportionment, but they use that to create statistics. So no long form, and it hasn't been in use for a while. Okay, so as you all know, in the news, there's been a lot of noise nationally about the so-called citizenship question. So I just wanted to address that in this presentation. The citizenship question has not been part of the census since 1950. This year, Commerce Secretary Ross approved a plan to add the question. And this decision triggered a legal battle that eventually found its way to the Supreme Court in June. And the Supreme Court blocked that citizenship question in that year. So that question is resolved as we know it. And the U.S. Census is being printed right now, and we're told it does not include the citizenship question. So I think that's something we'll have to just make known, because I know there is probably some trepidation out there whether it's on or not. So. Okay, aside from the census, the resolution of the citizen question, I think this is probably the most important slide in the presentation, and because there's a lot of question about, if I provide the information to the government, is my information confidential? And so we want to do our best to give our folks the right information. It's very confidential. In fact, by law, it cannot be provided. So it's actually in U.S. law. Information that's provided as part of the census can't be provided to public safety. It can't be provided to the IRS or ICE. It can't even be provided to the courts through subpoena. It's locked down. It's very confidential. In fact, census personnel, they take a lifetime oath to not divulge the information. If somebody is found to divulge information, then, well, they could be subject to some penalties and potentially prison time, so they take it very seriously. The information that's gathered from census, it's just used to create statistics. It is held in place for 72 years, and after 72 years, it can be released really to create historical statistics about who the population might have been 72 years ago. Why 72 years? Well, that's the average lifespan of a person. So I guess they figure that after that period of time, that person won't be alive. So that's the reason for that. But as we put our campaign together, one of the things we're going to have to push is that the confidentiality part of that, because I think there's a lot of confusion out there, and we're just going to have to make sure people understand that this is a vitally important part of it. I talked about technology with the census that's coming out. The Census Bureau has also utilized technology to help the local communities and the state improve participation rates. They've created a mapping system called ROAM, Response Outreach Area Mapper. So this is available to anybody to look at. It's available to us. It's available to the complete count committees. It's essentially, they call it a predictive algorithm. That sounds really high-tech there, right? But it's essentially, what it attempts to do is forecast participation rates based on past practices in census districts. So they'll look at a variety of demographic variables, and we can look at each census district, each census tract, and identify areas that are likely to be harder to count. And you can imagine some of the variables that might feed into that. It might be English as a second language, it might be some socioeconomic trends, but those are some of the things that we can look at. And as Jen mentioned, we can look at it in real time when they start the census invitation. So most census tracts in Peoria are projected to have a very high participation rate, but this will help us particularly as we engage our Complete Count Committee and other of our partners to elevate our efforts, including the faith-based, the schools. I think those are all going to be very vital, important partners for us. All right, so another specific focus area is children under 5. This is actually the highest undercounted age segment of any age group, children under 5 here. Estimates that we've been provided by the Census Bureau that in the 2010 census, 5% of the children under 5 weren't counted, and that's about 1 million people. That's the highest of any age group. That's, I guess, been a persistent issue in all the census that have been taken. As you can imagine, there are huge implications for that, not only with the political representation question, but there's a lot of funding programs that are centered around children. You can see a few of those on the screen. You know, some of the programs and also school planning efforts that the school districts go through. So it's a very important issue. What are some reasons for the undercount? There's been a lot of speculation about that. Some believe, or some have speculated that it might be because children under 5, you know, they haven't gone to school, they're not part of any official system yet, and we're very protective of our children. Perhaps they're not counted. It could be some of the complex families that we have now, you know, single-parent households. Perhaps the grandparents are the caregivers for the children, but there might be a variety of reasons why. But nonetheless, it's going to be vitally important that we engage a school district and we get the information out, so hopefully we can get everybody, including children under 5, counted in the next census. All right, so how do we get the word out? At the state level, you may have heard that Governor Ducey recently signed an executive order creating a statewide complete count committee. This is a 23-member committee of trusted advisors across the spectrum that'll help get the word out, and they'll deal with, they'll work with the local communities and also MAG. At the regional level, the Census Bureau is coordinating with MAG and its member communities. So both Jen and I are part of those meetings that occur very regularly. Each MAG member agency committed dollars to a regional marketing effort. Jen will talk about that in a little bit, but to promote census awareness. Reister was the marketing company that was hired, and we all, each of the member agencies submitted its share to help support that effort. Also, each member agency agreed to form their own complete count committee in whatever form it wanted. So some cities chose to have a very formalized, structured complete count committee. City of Peoria, we chose to have more of a flexible task force-based committee, and the reason for that is as we move forward and as we understand where there might be some pinch points, it's flexible. We have the ability to add new members to try to touch some of those areas. We thought that was probably the best approach going forward, but there's a variety of ways that people have chosen. Okay, so who is the Complete Count Committee? This is an ad hoc advisory committee, and we've already established one, but it's a cross-section of the community, and so it includes the school district, higher education, faith-based community, nonprofits. We have influential leaders, community organizations, so it's a pretty wide cross-section. As I mentioned, though, it is an open committee, so if there's others that we feel would add value to the committee, we're certainly willing to include them as part of these ongoing discussions. It's very important, though. Purpose of the committee is to provide high-level oversight on census participation activities, also to act as a trusted voice. So, you know, as you can imagine, there might be some points where, you know, where the government agency may not be effective. It might be more effective for the Complete Count Committee as an ambassador to get out within their constituencies and get the word out. So they're really an arm of our effort in trying to get the word out for census activities. So this is just a graphic that illustrates all of the different elements that encompass our Complete Count Committee. It's a 15-member committee, but again, it's flexible. We're certainly willing to consider other members. And then finally, the goals of the Complete Count Committee is several-fold. It's to motivate the community to self-respond so that the Census Bureau doesn't have to visit you. Also to educate the public about the importance of the census, inform the public about activities that are going to be occurring, try to involve the community in activities to build awareness, and ultimately it's to increase the participation rate. So before I turn it over to Jen, I wanted to show you the key dates at a glance. So there's 3 phases that's part of the census. Right now we're in the trust building and the education phase of that. That will, in the first quarter of next year, then morph into the participation phase. What is occurring right now? You actually might see some census workers out in the field right now. It's a little confusing, but what they're doing right now is they're doing, it's called address canvassing. And so the Census Bureau has been able to verify through aerial photos or information from the agencies about where addresses are. But there are some cases where they have to go out in the field and verify that they have all the address information. So you may see Census Bureau folks out there right now. They are going to be doing this through October. So hopefully that doesn't confuse anybody, but they're doing canvassing right now. And then in the new year, I mentioned that we'll all get an invitation for internet response. That'll actually happen March 12th. That'll happen before Census Day, but that's when we'll get our invitation. Between May and July, that's when the Census Bureau will then start following up on households that may not have provided their information to them. By August of 2020, they project that they'll have all the data in. They'll start their quality control analysis part of it. That information then is due to the president by the end of this calendar year, and then it's projected by the end of first quarter of 2021 is when the state will get its information back in terms of the all the population information. So that's when we'll expect results back from that. So before I transition to Jen, are there any questions about the information I presented?
Council, questions?
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll turn it over.
Thank you, Chris. Well, there's a comprehensive communication outreach underway, and it definitely is going to ramp up in the next couple months. First is MAG has served as a leader and has hired Reister to help provide the public relations and advertising support for the census. And that's great news because they are able to purchase in large quantities the media and advertising necessary to get the messaging out. So we're really excited. We've been working closely with Reister. They're in the process of creating those commercials and ad buys and graphics and collateral. And in fact, at a video we're going to show at the end, they're going to be using along with their materials. So that's a huge testament to our digital team. So we'll get to that in a moment. But each city is contributing to this campaign, and our portion is $57,700. And it's a challenge in a sense that, I shouldn't say that, the challenge is there's a national campaign, a regional campaign, and a citywide campaign. So we're trying to take all 3 and merge them together, but not, kind of overwhelm the reader or the viewer. And that's the important part, is we want to make sure they understand they're aware census is coming, but not give them like 35 different hashtags. And so we're working on, kind of collaborating and creating pieces that are simplified. For example, the national campaign is Shape Your Future, Start Here. The regional committee is, our campaign is I Count 2020, and then ours is Everyone Counts. So we're kind of working through all those materials right now, and I have a few examples to show in a moment. Okay. As Chris alluded, right now the biggest part is just creating awareness and providing information. The second phase, which we'll be moving into January, February, is participation. We want every single person in the city to be counted. And that's why we started even earlier than now to begin that education process. So we're gonna work with our media primarily through our local media. We actually have a media member on our Complete Count Committee who has generated several stories. So that's key, is the local media. As well as using our own channels, our media briefs, our own Channel 11, our social media, and it's going to definitely be a targeted approach. We are aware of the hard-to-count area, so we're going to make sure to focus on that area primarily, and then, of course, citywide, we'll push out information along the way. And like Chris said, or the children, the under 5, the first video you see has a focus on making sure that every single person in your home is counted. So that's the first part. Social media exposure, as everyone knows, because everyone uses social media here, the digital footprint is significant. So a number of our messaging and approach to targeting these different areas is going to be through social media. And so be on the lookout for that. If you can help share, I think everyone, that's the big ask is if everybody can, share our messages and get it out through everyone's channels, it will maximize the exposure. And like I said, the hashtags really help because that connects all the media together, the social media together. So the 3 hashtags is iCount2020, hashtag Peoria AZ, and hashtag Everyone Counts. And we will be doing both English and Spanish versions as well. City events are another important aspect of this. So in the next few months, you'll see city staff tables. We'll have giveaways, information, collateral, banners. So that's kind of the first introduction to census. And then we're going to staff those and help, because we are able to help, especially in the hard-to-count areas, people get into access their address and be counted. We can do it on site via an iPad or a computer or a tablet, or I think you might even be able to use your phone. Because it's just through the website connection. So that's something that we really want to capitalize on during this census campaign is helping those who need some support with the online elements. And then of course I was going to say, we're also going to do garbage truck signage and bus stops, and we'll be painting the town census, basically. If you don't see it, please tell me. There's a problem. No, I'm just kidding. But with that said, there are a number of promotional giveaway items, and we are creating these toolkits, which the council, or the complete count, I cannot say, the Triple C committee, try saying that multiple times, will be able to use the giveaways, and they can borrow our banners and our tablecloths and all our information. And the same applies to council. If you're going to be out there at an event or a meeting or have an activity that you would like to provide census information, we can get you anything you want. We have water bottles, we have stickers, we have chapstick, we have a 2020 calendar that has key census dates as well as our special events. We had to add that element to it. But we have a lot of great items that, we have a lot to give away. So we also have selfie stations and different videos on various events and different locations. And like I said, we're gonna just have advertising and banners everywhere. And if we're missing anything, please let us know. If you think, oh, this area needs more. We have a comprehensive plan, but with MAG support and Reister's help, they're trying to identify as many locations as possible to get the message out there.
So forgive us when we paint the town, right? Paint the town census.
Yeah. Can we do the intersections? Is that okay? Can we? Oh, sorry, that's next meeting. All right, and with that said, here is the video. Sean Mikowski with our digital team produced this video, and it's getting really great reviews and accolades. In fact, the regional campaign wants to utilize it. So I just wanted to share that, and we'll go ahead and play it. Thank you.
The 2020 census is coming. Make sure everyone gets counted.
So I can count everyone in my house?
Everyone who lives in your house counts for $3,000 in city services.
What about Meowly Cyrus?
Unfortunately not.
Does my baby count as a person?
Yes, your baby does.
Fergalicious is like our baby.
Aww, but no.
How about my crazy Uncle Herbert visiting from Germany? That's getting old.
Sorry.
My grandfather lives with us. Should we count him?
Yes, you do.
A bun in the oven?
Maybe in 9 months.
My best friend?
No.
He's here every day.
Yeah, but no.
What about this baby?
If he lives with you.
Dasher?
This got weird. Let's recap. All living, breathing humans residing full-time in your home count. So make sure you count them.
Thank you. Do you have any? Thank you so much. Do you have any questions?
Council, do you have any questions? Our census committee or task force, what is their job? Did you task them with something in particular to do?
Mayor Carroll, members of the council, we've had 2 complete count committee, I can't say it either.
I know.
2 CCC meetings thus far. Their role, and they've been largely informational to date, but their role is to advise us as to what are all those opportunities to get the word out. So right now, we've started with all the city events that we're aware of. We've also asked them to identify events in their own circles that they might know of and help really advise us on how to get the word out and then you know, when they're informed, they serve as our ambassadors in trying to get the word out as well.
Okay. So they're going to go to places and speak?
That's certainly a possibility, yes, or speak to some of the groups that they normally
attend.
Yes, exactly. And we're going to continue meeting throughout the year and then into next year as well, and as long as they'll serve as our advisors.
Councilmember Hunt?
Nice presentation, you guys. Really, really informative.
Thank you.
Darn, I was going to count my dog because he's almost human, okay, but I won't. My question is, are you working within the within the high schools to use those teens as advocates for their parents, or just as a reminder, or they may be the only English-speaking person in their household? That's a possibility. So how are you planning to engage the high schools?
Mayor Pro Tem, Mayor and Council, that's a great question. We are working with Peoria Unified School District. They're actually on our committee, and we are definitely coordinating efforts with the schools, not only to provide collateral materials, but identify people who could serve as ambassadors as well. And part of that will include a speaking engagement, which I didn't mention earlier, or kind of not an informal speakers bureau, where we're going to find different events that the students or teens are, including probably utilizing the help from our own youth advisory committee as well. We want to make sure to empower and encourage as many people to participate and help get the word out there. And it definitely will help to have the youth, provide that support. So that's the plan.
Will our youth advisory board have a specific role in this?
Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council, I think that's certainly a great idea and a great approach. I mean, we will get in front of the youth board and see what kind of ideas are out there. That's a great idea.
Yeah, they'll come up with ideas you guys never thought of.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Certainly.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions? No? Okay, thank you very much for that presentation, and I hope that you'll check back with us as time goes on so we know how things are going.
Sure.
Thank you.
If they are only in a 3-day period, it does provide that grace period. However, with hundreds of bills introduced each session, it is paramount that they be read quickly to also speed up the process. Babbel used speed reading to power through lengthy and wordy documents.
I actually had to read a 10-page title of a bill. So it's not the language of the bill, but the actual long title was about 10 pages. And so I think it took me 15 minutes to speed read through the 15 pages. And I mean, it sounds like bees buzzing. Everybody, on there is just like a bunch of, bzz, 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 on the TV. But of course, when you're done, most of the time they'll give you an applause or they'll say, way to go work. Or they'll make, the members will crack jokes like, can you please read that again? I didn't understand what you said.
According to Babbel, the secret to conquering such large bills lies not in speed, but rather technique.
When I was taught to read, I was told that reading as far as quickly is by syllables. So many people ask, are you actually reading? And yeah, we are actually reading what the words are. We're just not dictating the words we're reading. If it's like a number phrase, instead of saying 36, 10, 14, it's a 36, 14.
Mr. Matt uses techniques from his acting years to prepare for his upcoming reads.
Like what did it do to die today at a minute or two to do? A thing that distinctly hard to say and harder still to do. You beat it to 2 to 22 and rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat, and the dragon will come when he hears the drum at a minute or two to 2 today at a minute or 2 to 2.
And whereas national service expands economic opportunity,
that I get to use a little bit of what I studied so long and paid so many dollars to learn when I get to read the proclamations and things. And I'm really proud to do it, to feel like I'm serving my state in a very tangible way.
For Arizona Capitol Television, I'm Sam Collins.
Hello, I'm Jim Paxson. Whether it's working to save an endangered species or assisting an injured golden eagle to recover from a nasty wreck, Arizona Game and Fish, along with its partner agencies, is on the front line of wildlife conservation. Those stories and more coming up right now on Arizona Wildlife Views.
Arizona Wildlife Views is brought to you by the sale of hunting and fishing licenses and the Heritage Fund, lottery dollars working for wildlife. Some projects made possible by the Sportfish and Wildlife Restoration Fund.
Welcome to our show. We begin today with a story about the Sonoran pronghorn in southwestern Arizona, where a little more than a decade ago there were only 21 animals left in the United States. But that was before this ambitious recovery program began.
The sunrise is spectacular on this December morning in southwestern Arizona. But even at this early hour, dozens of biologists, veterinarians, and handlers are gearing up to help a very endangered species along its road to recovery.
You guys will go with that animal wherever it goes. So you'll follow the animal to the trailer, you'll follow it out to the pen, make sure everything and if you don't have it complete, just say wait to everybody.
The species in question is the Sonoran pronghorn. It's a smaller, distinct subspecies of the American pronghorn, and today about 30 of the animals will make the transition from captivity to being released into the wild.
We're moving pronghorn from the Sonoran pronghorn captive breeding facility in Ajo to a new area. It's going to be the third population of Sonoran pronghorn that we hope to establish in Arizona. And we're very excited about this because there's a couple million acres of habitat that they can expand into, and hopefully the population will grow.
The population needs to continue to grow if it's going to survive. The Sonoran pronghorn was first put on the endangered species list in 1967. But when the devastating drought of 2002 hit this area, its numbers crashed to only 21 animals. That's when state and federal wildlife agencies built this square-mile enclosure and began a captive breeding program to try to save the species. One by one, the animals that have been designated for transport are singled out and captured with a net. The vets and handlers then work quickly to help reduce stress on the high-strung pronghorn.
Ear tagger? Ear tag.
And what can seem chaotic
Where's my stretchers?
is actually a well-orchestrated operation made up of Arizona Game and Fish, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, Bureau of Land Management, the U.S. military, and other wildlife agencies all working together to give these animals the best chance of survival.
Basically, we're giving them all the vaccines they need, rabies, blue tongue, and Clostridium infections. We're giving them antibiotics, anti-inflammatories, pain medication, and a dewormer as well. And again, just trying to stabilize them in this initial handling phase until we can get them in the trailer where once they're in the dark and calm and with their friends, they're happy again.
The trailers are new and specially designed to help the nervous pronghorn handle being transported. They're air-conditioned, padded, and dark.
On an annual basis, we have animals that are basically in excess of what we want in the pen, so we remove them and take them to where we think they'll do the most good in the wild. Because our objective is not to have captive animals in a pen, but to take the excess animals and release them into the wild, hopefully, creating new populations along the way.
For several weeks prior to the capture, the pronghorn have been fed in these round pens called bomas, able to come and go as they please. The only thing different today is that someone closed the gate. They are hoping to capture and move 16 female and 14 male pronghorn. A few extras that were basically in the wrong place at the wrong time have their health assessed and then are released back into the large recovery pen.
Well, they're fed here every day, so they're in great shape coming out of the pen. They're fed not only an alfalfa supplement, they have natural desert to eat on, and they're fed a pelleted ration so they can get all the groceries and minerals and vitamins they need. We're just helping them get a little farther down the road.
Before noon, the trailers pull out of the Cabeza Prieta National Wildlife Refuge and head to their new location. It's a large holding pen on the Barry M. Goldwater Range north of Ajo. Sonoran pronghorn are the fastest land animal in North America and can clock speeds up to 60 miles per hour. But with all the people and cameras, these pronghorns seem a little hesitant about their new home. They will stay in this large pen for a few weeks to acclimate to the conditions. Then the fence will come down and they'll be free to go.
So the populations may go up or down, but by spreading our pronghorn populations out, we're hopefully avoiding another disaster like we experienced in 2002, where it didn't rain and the one population that we had nearly went extinct.
Sonoran pronghorn are found in only 2 places in the world, northern Mexico and southwestern Arizona. Early settlers to this area called them prairie ghosts because their coloring and lightning speed made them seem to disappear into the landscape. Fortunately, thanks to the work of a lot of people willing to put in the time and effort, their numbers in the wild have risen from a low of 21 to about 300 animals today, making it unlikely the Sonoran pronghorn will disappear from this landscape anytime soon. This golden eagle is one lucky bird. Thanks to the quick reactions of a lot of people, he's about to be released back into the wild after a death-defying collision with a semi-tractor trailer on Interstate 40.
It cracked open the windshield, but there wasn't a gaping hole, but it caved it in. It made a big indent in that windshield, like a big rock would. The damage to that windshield was pretty intense.
When DPS officers arrived on the scene, they didn't have much hope for the Eagle's chances.
It's dead. It's like a grape. It's gone, and then it's standing there. It's still alive. When I arrived on scene, you can see the bird kind of out of it, standing in the emergency lane, just about 3 feet from traffic. For lack of a better term, it was like a drunk. It was just sitting there circling, just teetering. It wasn't aware of what was happening. Cars would go by and it wasn't aware of anything. And then all of a sudden its head just snaps. And then it looked at everything and it made eye contact, and you can tell it was pretty upset.
Rescuing wildlife isn't a typical day on the job for DPS.
Not like that. We deal with cows and horses and, goats and stuff out on the interstate, but nothing like this, nothing that could, it was angry and it didn't want anything to do with us, so.
Lucky for it, the DPS officers didn't care. They captured the injured bird and contacted Arizona Game and Fish, which placed it into the care of wildlife rehabilitators at Liberty Wildlife in Phoenix. Now, after months of rehabilitation, they're returning it to its home in the wild.
Like an eagle. Hang on a minute, hang on. Relax, relax.
When this bird first came, it was very traumatized and it was very lethargic and down. We took x-rays. Maybe there was a crack in the clavicle, which would be the wishbone, but it wasn't displaced.
Amazingly, other than having its bell rung really hard, the bird wasn't seriously injured.
Thought it was going to have severe internal injuries and fractures, but nothing was broken.
The eagle was hit almost 3 months ago, and after some proper care at Liberty Wildlife, it's finally ready to go home.
His rehab's gone very well. He's been one of our easier cases in the sense that there's been less hands-on that's needed to be done with him. It's just been more of a, R&R rest and making sure that he's eating right and getting the right care and getting the exercise that he needs to build up the strength that's needed before release. Yeah, he's ready to go.
So on a hill near Seligman, Arizona, not far from where this majestic golden eagle was injured, many of the people responsible for his rescue and recovery gathered to watch his return to the wild.
Okay, are we ready?
Yeah, on 3.
Ready, Kenny?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
As the bird disappeared into the distance, the DPS officers who helped rescue it were glad they had the opportunity to protect and conserve one very lucky golden eagle.
It was pretty awesome to be able to see that take off, and the power and the majesty of that bird.
This is the Phoenix Zoo most of us are familiar with, but this too is the zoo. It's all part of the Phoenix Zoo's commitment to conservation, which started soon after it opened its doors in 1962. That's when the zoo was asked to join Operation Oryx by starting a breeding program for the Arabian oryx, an endangered antelope from the Middle East.
We were actually the holders of the world's herd for a number of years, and we were involved in breeding them up so that they could get distributed to other zoos, and then ultimately they were reintroduced back into the wild in 1982.
Today, the zoo's conservation efforts are heavily focused on at-risk species that are native to Arizona, like the endangered black-footed ferret and the threatened Chiricahua leopard frog. Working with the Arizona Game and Fish Department, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and other conservation partners, the zoo successfully raises frogs and ferrets that are released into their native Arizona habitats.
He's ready to go in his burrow.
And really our goal is to actually start to replenish the population or augment the wild population so that they don't get listed or that they can be removed from the endangered species list. Essentially, we want to go out of business eventually. We hope that that happens soon, but we don't want it to happen too soon.
There's way too much work to do and far too many local species in dire need of help, victims of habitat loss, disease, and competition with non-native predators. They include the Mount Graham red squirrel, the spring snail, and the narrow-headed garter snake. Each one of these species presents a unique set of challenges for researchers at the zoo's Conservation and Science Center.
You go into these, what I call little puzzles and challenges, you're not sure if you're going to have success. The stressful part about it is in many cases, like with the Mount Graham red squirrel, there's only about 250 of them out there, and it's a worry if something goes wrong.
But the Phoenix Zoo has an excellent track record when it comes to working with imperiled species. That's why in 2011, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service collected 4 Mount Graham red squirrels and delivered them to the zoo's Conservation Center.
I came up here at that time and was able to capture 2 males and 2 females that I brought to the Phoenix Zoo just sort of like as a hedge, basically.
It was an emergency action to protect the squirrel from imminent wildfire and possible extinction.
It was a very dry year, so we were really concerned that there was the potential for this mountain to burn and that we would lose, all the habitat for the squirrel.
Mount Graham red squirrels are only found in the Pinaleño Mountains of southeastern Arizona, where the highest peak, Mount Graham, rises from the desert floor to an elevation of more than 10,700 feet. So making them feel at home in Phoenix isn't easy. They're kept in a temperature-controlled building that's cooled to a constant 65 degrees.
But in our setting, we can't quite get the temperature as cold as it is in Mount Graham. In this setting, we have to compensate a little bit by reducing their energy intake and monitoring their diet.
It took some time to figure out how to keep the squirrels alive and at a healthy weight. Now the zoo is developing a pilot breeding program. It's a complex puzzle because Mount Graham red squirrels are solitary and very territorial animals. Plus, the females are receptive to breeding for only about 4 to 8 hours on just one day each year.
Our challenge is we don't know which day of the year that is, and we don't know which 4-hour window we have to put them together. Because they're territorial, if we do it at the wrong time, they can hurt each other or seriously injure themselves.
Today, this female squirrel is meeting a new man who's moving in next door. By confining male squirrels to their nest boxes, it's easy to switch them from one enclosure to the other. Then it's a matter of opening some doors to see if the squirrels will act aggressively or amorously.
And we use different tools. We're looking at behavior, interactions that suggest that they're going to be compatible. And we also use some science, which is physiology. We look to see whether or not they're in an estrus, something called fecal steroid analysis.
By monitoring hormone levels, they try to predict when the squirrels will be ready to mate. But most of the work is done through careful observation. The squirrels are under video surveillance 24/7, and those videos are scrutinized for any change in behavior that offers a clue about reproductive readiness.
So what I'm doing is I'm recording feeding behavior and re-watching recorded feeding times with 2 of our squirrels.
If during this arranged rendezvous it looks like the squirrels are in the mood for love, that final barrier between them can be removed. Unfortunately, this introduction did not lead to a love connection, so the search for a breakthrough continues.
Got one right there.
These puzzles come in all shapes and sizes. The spring snail is currently the tiniest.
I counted 116 today on the full count. I guess there's between 175 and 200 snails in here.
It may look like an insignificant little creature, but don't let its size fool you.
If these species are present in a water system, that's a really good sign.
Spring snails are hugely important to aquatic ecosystems. They keep the water clean by eating algae and all sorts of organic pollutants. Now, they only live for about a year, so researchers don't have much time to work with a given population.
Just trying to get a better look at its shell whorls to try to determine an exact age class of it.
There are about a dozen spring snail species in Arizona, and none is doing very well. The Three Forks spring snail is listed as an endangered species. In 2008 and 2009, the zoo was not able to get them to reproduce in the lab. Then in 2010, it switched to a surrogate species, the Page spring snail, which is found in Arizona's Verde Valley.
Yep, so there's a Page spring snail right there.
Because we were working with a less endangered species, we had an opportunity to experiment, if you will, or try different things to see if they were working.
After experimenting with water chemistry and methods that give the snails a better chance to find each other during breeding season, the zoo is seeing positive results.
We've got reproduction, but we don't seem to have thousands of spring snails. So we think there's some things we haven't quite figured out, but the population is maintaining itself now. We'd like it to grow.
That alone is a victory, because at the start of this project, nobody knew if it was even possible to keep spring snails alive outside of their natural habitat. On a side note, the Page spring snail was a candidate for federal protection in 2015, but thanks to years of conservation and habitat restoration by Game and Fish, the zoo, and other federal and private partners, listing was not necessary.
So that's actually really big news.
This is a snake that we haven't been able to find for a couple days out here. I have to remark her, but...
It was a different story for the narrow-headed garter snake.
So we remark them with nail polish just to differentiate them at a quick glance.
In 2014, it was listed as threatened under the Endangered Species Act.
They're also all equipped with a chip, so we have a reader that we can scan it.
It's a fish-eating snake that's found in New Mexico and Arizona, especially in Oak Creek Canyon.
This is basically a little slice of their habitat that they would be living in. So these guys, they do all their hunting on their own. You know, they get to move about freely. They're just checked on twice a day for health purposes.
Folks at U.S. Fish and Wildlife and Arizona Game and Fish approached us because they were seeing a decline in the numbers of narrow-headed garter snake in the wild, and they feared that they were going to be listed as endangered. And they asked if we could start to work out the mechanics of managing them outside of their natural habitat to see if we could get them to reproduce.
The narrow-headed garter snake has been kept in managed settings before, but has never reproduced, which we were able to do that, and that's really exciting.
The zoo acquired 7 narrow-headed garter snakes in 2007. A few years later, they reached sexual maturity, and the first breeding attempt was observed, but no offspring were produced. After 3 more years of documented breeding with no offspring, the zoo finally had success in 2014.
This is Rhiannon. She's the one who gave birth to our neonate / July. So she is the mother of all of these little guys in here.
The zoo tried something new that year during the winter months when snakes go into brumation, a state of low activity similar to hibernation.
People will brumate them in a refrigerator, which is what we were doing. But we think that us having our hands on them and doing that forced brumating was maybe impacting our success in reproduction. So we came up with the idea to have them out here and let them brumate on their own.
The Conservation Center built this brumation chamber, a cold, dark place where the snakes could go to brumate.
And sure enough, our female Rhiannon, she chose this brumation chamber, and we had success that year.
So these are the offspring of our adult female narrow-headed garter snake. So they're just a little bit over a year old.
From a litter or clutch of 20 neonates, 18 snakes survived.
So what we do is we take periodic weights and measurements, so we have a metric to see how fast they grow, at what point do they reach adult size, and then we do behavioral observations as to see when they'll reach sexual maturity.
The male offspring are cared for in this lab, while the females live outside in this temperature-controlled enclosure.
This is Manzanita, so he's one of our breeding males. You can see
He's here because he's not related to any of the other snakes, but hopefully he'll father some in the near future. If he does, that could mean the researchers have finally solved another complicated puzzle. But the true test of success is raising animals that can be successfully returned to the wild.
Some things we can't do that have been historically done for managing animals that are going to remain you know, in a zoo setting. For example, feeding an animal at the same time every day. We can't do that with the animals we work with here because that would inherently affect their ability to survive if they're becoming accustomed to getting food at a predictable time, or having their food presented to them in a way that they don't have to open it up like a pine cone, which is Mount Graham red squirrels have to know how to tear into a pine cone to get the seeds out. If we only give them seeds, they may not know how to do that once they're released to the wild.
So we're gonna give the squirrels their diet right now. We feed them randomly 1, 2, or 3 times a day. Hide it throughout their enclosure. So we're just trying to simulate some natural foraging habits so they're not just getting all their food in a bowl.
It's also important that the animals don't get used to humans, which is why the researchers weigh them without handling them.
We have a balance between doing applied studies, applied research here, and not changing the animal's behavior, and applying what we learn towards improving the product, which is animals that have a better chance of surviving once we release them.
Meanwhile, the Phoenix Zoo is learning a lot about imperiled species.
When we have animals in this setting in hand, we're able to see them doing things that you can't really observe in the field.
It's sharing that information with other institutions that are developing breeding programs of their own, and with field biologists who conserve and manage endangered species.
It's really fantastic that we have such a great relationship with other agencies like Game and Fish that many places don't have. And actually being able to work with animals nobody's ever worked with before, and gathering all this information for publications for future generations, and physically putting animals back on the ground and then monitoring their success. So yeah, it's I find it extremely gratifying to be involved in these kind of programs.
Much is still not known about the long-term success of these sorts of wildlife recovery efforts, but so far the Phoenix Zoo's Conservation and Science Center seems to be headed in the right direction.
So we know that a breeding program for release can ultimately result in an animal being stable in the wild. We've done it with orcs, we've done it with ferrets. We feel like it's happening pretty well with the Chiricahua leopard frogs, and we're pretty confident that we have the insight and the tools to do it with the Mount Graham red squirrel as well.
It's a side of the zoo most visitors never see. This commitment to conservation, working hard to keep wild animals in the wild, so the day never comes when a zoo is the only place to see them.
Well, that's our show for today. Hope you enjoyed it. For more information, go to our website at azgfd.gov. For all the fine folks at Arizona Game and Fish, I'm Jim Paxson. We'll see you next time.
People are really what the Army's strength is. So it's always a chance to learn and also a chance to teach.
It was a tremendous opportunity for the battalion to really get after some true expeditionary readiness.
Because I think the benefit of doing this is the uncertainty.
It's safe to say that folks look up to the American Army, and it's safe to say that sometimes we are amongst peers.
Partnerships are really what's important as we operate in that type of environment. Being able to build those relationships on the ground really creates a generational change and really reinforces the partnerships that we have.
But more importantly, I think for our partners, just our presence there and participating in this operation is building that trust and confidence that we are there by their side.
So we worked with the Australians, New Zealanders as well while we were in Australia, as well as the Indonesian and Malaysian armies.
So we worked, with our Thai counterparts, and then also with our Philippine counterparts when we got down there as well. So it's a chance to teach what we know as our aviation standards, and also a chance to observe and learn what they do, to see their equipment, to see how they're training.
there was all kinds of challenges that we were able to work through, and I think that's the beauty of the Pacific Pathways mission, is there's a lot of uncertainty, and it challenges your leaders to work through the uncertainty using adaptive problem-solving skills, especially for our young leaders.
The Malaysian jungle really can't be replicated anywhere but in Malaysia, so us being on the ground there gave us the opportunity to really feel the stress of some of the challenges that the jungle presents, logistically, communications-wise, really across all warfighting functions. It really gave us an opportunity to really work on some of those challenges and come up with some solutions at the tactical level.
So we know where we're going and we know when we're leaving, but it was really a challenge to figure out all logistically how to make all those moving pieces synchronize, not once, not twice, but for me as an aviator, 7 times.
The Mayor and City Council welcome you to the Peoria City Council meeting. As a courtesy to others, please silence all phones. If you would like to address an issue that is on the agenda, or if you would like to speak to the Council regarding a non-agenda item, please complete a speaker request form, which can be found in the front lobby of the Peoria City Council chambers or in the tray to the left of the speaker's podium. Please place the completed speaker request form in the second tray to the left of the speaker's podium labeled Request to Speak. All speakers will have 3 minutes to complete their comments. A countdown clock is easily visible on the left side of the wall behind the City Council dais. Only items listed on the agenda may be addressed by the Council. Since items presented as part of a speaker's request have not been listed on the agenda, and due to the requirements of open meeting laws, the Council will be unable to respond to items presented as part of the speaker's request. However, please be aware that your comments will be noted. The speaker's name will be called to speak at the appropriate time, in the order that the forms were received. Thank you for your interest and participation in the Peoria City Council meeting.
Peoria City Council meeting will now come to order. Please rise for a moment of quiet reflection and the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilmember Hunt.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The clerk will please call the roll.
Mayor Carlett?
Here.
Vice Mayor Bensbacher?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Hunt?
Here.
Councilmember Patena?
Here.
Councilmember Finn?
Here.
Councilmember Edwards?
Here.
Councilmember Dunn?
Here.
Council Liaison Greathouse?
Here.
Council Liaison Ravindran?
Here.
Good evening and welcome to the Peoria City Council meeting of September 17th, 2019. The first item on our agenda this evening is a very special presentation. Councilmember John Edwards worked with the Peoria Fire Medical Department to submit a candidate for the District 8 First Responder Congressional Recognition Award. Earlier this month, we were notified that Captain Chris Blunden of Peoria Fire Crew 194 has received this honor. So to begin, I would like to call your attention to the screen for a short video.
Engine 194, Rescue 191, KDEX 6, 962 involving a motorcycle, 91st Avenue in Northern. Engine 194, Rescue 191, KDEX 6.
The initial dispatch came out as a car crash versus a motorcycle. We loaded into the engine and additional information was sent on the MCT that stated we had a young man that had a possible leg amputation on scene. So arriving on scene, we did indeed find that we had Eric down, and he did indeed have a partial amputation of his left leg. There was blood all over the scene, it was chaotic, and he was in and out of consciousness. We noticed that a bystander had placed a tourniquet fashioned from a gym bag strap, and they placed it above his knee to stop the bleeding. This was essential for saving him and possibly did save his life, but for us, we thought about, for his potential outcome further on in life and his functionality, we wanted to take that tourniquet and place it below the knee.
Good evening, I'm Gail Bradley, the Medical Director for Peoria Fire Medical Department. I'm also an Emergency Department Physician at Banner Thunderbird. The rapid placement of the tourniquet ultimately saved Eric's leg as well as his life. When the crew initially arrived on scene, Eric was critically injured and had a very low blood pressure. By assessing his injuries, controlling the bleeding, and applying the care that they did, they were able to help stabilize him and get him to the hospital. The care that they applied on scene and en route to the hospital was instrumental in helping the trauma team save Eric's life. While the injury he sustained was significant, the outcome that he had was really amazing considering the injury that he had on scene.
With the amount of injuries that he had and he had sustained, we wanted to do rapid treatment and rapid transportation. So the ambulance was there on scene. We immediately loaded him up, started other treatments in the ride, and went code 3 to the hospital as fast as we could. Approximately 8 days later, we received the call from Thunderbird Hospital for a request stating that Eric wanted to attend his high school graduation at Cardinal Stadium. Our crew, Engine 194, the same crew had ran the call on Eric, plus additional medical staff from Thunderbird Hospital, had the privilege of assisting Eric on stage to receive his diploma with the rest of his graduating class.
That was a great video. What a great story. All right, for the award presentation, I would like to invite to the chamber floor Councilmember Edwards, Mr. Ken Fuelbeyer from Congresswoman Debbie Lesko's office, Peoria Fire Medical Chief Bobby Reese, and Peoria Fire Medical Captain Chris Blunden. Please to the chamber floor here.
All right, is this working? Oh, yeah, it is. All right, well, everyone, for those who don't know me, I'm Ken Fuelbeyer, Community Outreach Director for Congresswoman Debbie Lesko's office. And this district is composed of about 750,000 constituents. So what we've done is we've created a Congressional District 8 recognition. And this means people that go above and beyond, organizations that go above and beyond, to volunteer, first responders that go above and beyond to help the community. And I think the video speaks for itself. So it's my honor and Congresswoman Debbie Lesko's honor to give you guys the Peoria Fire Medical Department and Captain Chris Blunden the Congressional District 8 Award. So congratulations.
Thank you so much for your contributions to the residents of the city of Peoria. We are so indebted to you. Thank you. All right, we will now move on to the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine or have been previously reviewed by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion unless there is a request to remove an item to be considered in the normal sequence of the agenda. Are there any items to be removed from consent? Mr. Tyne?
Mayor, at the behest of the applicant for item 12C, they are requesting that that item be continued until the October 1st meeting. To do so then would require a motion that would approve the consent excluding 12C.
Thank you very much. Council, is there a motion to approve consent agenda with the exclusion of item 12C?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Please vote.
We have Mayor Carlet's vote.
And it passes unanimously. Thank you. And the next item on the agenda is called to the public for non-agenda items. And I do have 2 speaker request forms. If there's anyone else who would like to address the council, please fill out a speaker request form and give it to the clerk. The first one is Mr. Jerry Johnson. You have 3 minutes to speak, sir. If you would kindly come to the podium and state your name and address for the record.
Mayor and Council, I'm Jerry Johnson from Westbrook Village, and I just want to give a great big thank you to the city, the mayor and the council for the moving wall memorial that we attended a couple of weeks ago. It was outstanding. It was very emotional and moving for those of us that were there. And then I want to say thank you to Councilmember Patena for spearheading getting that wall there and all the work that goes into it. I know kind of what happens on events and how much work it is. And then to the staff of the city of Peoria, an outstanding job of presentation. It was just very, very moving. And so I was proud to be a citizen of Peoria and also a proud a citizen of the United States of America. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind comments. And I do have one more speaker request form from Mr. Gary Sherwood. Mr. Sherwood, if you would kindly state your name and address for the record.
Gary Sherwood, City of Glendale. Need the full address?
No, Glendale's enough.
Your neighbor. Mayor, Council, thanks for the reprieve tonight. I'm here for 3 reasons. One, I must say, I don't want to act like Sarah Palin, but I can see your city from my rooftop. So I come here as a neighbor. 3 items. Number 1, I just wanted a reprieve tonight. From my city's somewhat toxic atmosphere at City Hall, both on the policy side and on the administration side. So I appreciate you folks. I wanted to compliment this panel for the vision and leadership in taking the West Valley to the, into the future. I know I've worked with many of you, at least met Vicki, through the past years, and you know, we're not always in agreement, right, Councilman Edwards, on certain topics, but we always walk away, and you always walk away knowing that you've got the city's best interest and your constituents in mind. But really, I'm here tonight to congratulate my friend Danette, I should say, Councilwoman Danette Dunn, for officially having been duly elected and sworn in as the Pine District representative today. For anyone that's run for public office, there's a lot of effort expanded, you all know that. And I know how disappointed Danette was last August of 18 when running for her first time, she found out election night that she didn't quite get there. But here we are just a little bit over a year later, and this council will be even stronger because of her. So thanks for Peoria for, when I'm looking up on my rooftop over at you, I can be proud of you. So thanks for the time.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. All right, the next item on the agenda is call to the public for, oh, excuse me, we did call to the public. Sorry, we will now go to reports from the city manager. Mr. Tyne.
Great, thank you, Mayor and Council. And just two quick items. One of them is to Mr. Johnson's conversation. It was indeed an honor and a privilege for us to be able to host the Moving Wall in Peoria for 4 days in the beginning of September. And so we do have John Sefton, our Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Director, will come forward to recap the event, show a 2-minute video revisiting the Veterans Memorial exhibit at Rio Vista Memorial Park. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Tyne, and good evening, Mayor and Council. And yes, Jerry, thank you. It was very much a tee-up for this item. And hats off to our Office of Communications for putting together what I consider to be a very moving tribute to the Moving Wall. It was a great event, a lot of inspiration, and I know that Councilman Patena is going to want to say a few words as well. But that whole execution could not have been done without one volunteer, and that volunteer is Tad Snedeker. And he's here in the audience with us, our chairman of the Veterans Board, and his sidekick, Nash. Thanks for being here, Nash. And with no further ado, I'd like to show the video. They've done a great job.
A truly moving wall. A wall of cool gray granite with many names etched in the stone. Each represents a soldier loved and lost, so far away from home. More than 58,000 bear the loss these panels represent, of lives laid down in freedom's fight. When their country called, they went. The wall bears some 1,300 names of loved ones not yet found, some taken as prisoners of war or lost when planes went down. 8 women are among the lives the wall commemorates, a country unified in stone by losses from all states. It's become a place of healing and of heartfelt gratitude, the high price paid and of the change in a nation's attitude. Many hearts have longed to touch a name its polished gray reflects, to stand before in solemn thought and offer their respects. The wall stands in our capital, but not all can journey there. Thus was born this replica, so that everyone can share. In honoring the sacrifice, by remembering these gave all, the privilege stands before us now in the shadow of this wall. Pause for a moment, pray, reflect, and know this much is true. This truly is a moving wall that will no doubt move you. Thank you.
We're just a few months away, not even a few months away till Veterans Day, where Peoria will again recognize our veterans with a great celebration on November 11th and a further expansion of the Senator John McCain Vietnam Veterans Memorial Plaza. We look forward to that. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. It was a great video.
Thank you, Mr. Sefton. And one last item, we had several members of our Peoria Police Department that were honored to present a giant American flag that was on the field at the Arizona Cardinals game on September 8th. And so we have Police Chief Art Miller to show a 1.5-minute video and discuss the event. Thank you, Chief.
Yes, we were asked by a local organization to represent our city at the opening game for the Cardinals, and there was 150 first responders. Seven police officers from the police department attended, and I was there as well. And I'll have to tell you that it was an exciting moment, representing our country and having that participation in the flag ceremony. The 65,000 members of the audience were cheering us on, and it was quite moving, and I was so happy to be part of that. So here's a short video that we put together that depicted that.
Cardinals fans, join us as we say thank you to all of our Arizona first responders with us today. We appreciate your teams and all you do for our community.
I only wish that one person to my right loved Larry more than that one lady did. That was Officer Shepard, who's sitting to my, or standing to my right, and I was kind of behind the sign occasionally. So, anyway, great experience.
God, it looks really fun.
That was great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, and that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. And we will now move on to reports from the City Council, and we'll start with Youth Council Liaison Greathouse.
So a week ago, we had a Youth Advisory Board meeting where we had a long, fruitful discussion of our bylaws, since we're currently in the process of amending them, since it's been a very long time. And I think this just furthers the progress the Youth Advisory Board is trying to make this year. And it's going to go along really well.
That's great. Thank you. Councilmember Patena.
Thank you, Mayor. On September 5th, I attended the opening ceremony of the moving wall, and yes, I would like to take just a few minutes to talk about that. If you would have asked me September 4th how many people I thought would attend that event, I would have probably told you I'd be happy with 900 to 1,000 people. We had over 5,000 people that attended that event, and it's something I could have never imagined. We also had 800 students that attended, and I really wanted the students to be there because most of them didn't know anything about that war. War was over long before they were born. But I wanted them to see, when you see the 58,000 names up there, just how devastating war can be for a country. And I hope that at least some of those 800 students got that feeling. The real work, however, didn't start with me. I had as John Sefton and I were talking after the ceremony, I had the idea to bring the wall in. But the real work started the day we got a confirmation when the wall would arrive. That's when the event staff got together. We met once a month for about 10 months, I guess, before the wall even arrived. And that's when the real work started. I know that I got a lot of recognition for bringing that wall in, and I appreciated that. But I think the real recognition should go to the event staff for doing such a yeoman's job at bringing it. It was flawless. Nothing went wrong. All I've heard about that event was how well it was done. I would like to mention some of the names today that played such a big role in the wall coming in. Starts with Chris Hallett and his team. John Sefton, Kelly Kincaid, Mary Lou Stevens, Bill Moss, Tanya Edmondson, Andrea Kalika, Andre Licardi, Heather Duffett, Kevin Naughton, the Rio Vista Rec Center Facilities Crew, Dave Stanek and the Rio Vista Park Crew, Sarah Lorzel, Kat Shreve, Rio Vista Front Desk staff, Jared Spangler, Ryan Farnsley, and Tad Snedecor and the Peoria Memorial Veterans Board. Tad, I know you and Andre Licardi were responsible for bringing in over 100 volunteers, and that was 24 hours a day they had to be there, and appreciate your hard work for that event. Let's see. On September 12th, myself, along with the mayor and Councilmember Edwards, attended the ribbon cutting for their Arrowhead Valley Retirement Resort. You know, it really is a resort. They have a koi pond in there. They have a general store, hairdressers, a bank. They have a full movie theater. It's really quite amazing. And so it was nice to do the ribbon cutting there, and it was a nice event. And then on September 14th, the mayor, along with the vice mayor and myself, attended the Luke Air Force Base Ball. We celebrated the 72nd birthday of the Air Force. Got to hear General Canterbury speak. There's a lot of pomp and circumstance with flags and all kinds of things, but it was a fun event, and I'm happy we had the opportunity to attend. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Finn.
Thank you, Mayor. I won't rehash all of those amazing things you said about the moving wall, but I do want to thank you and Tad for all of your hard work in getting that done. It was really an amazing event, incredibly well done and very moving. I didn't think it was going to impact me as much as it did when I was there, but it truly did. So really have no other comments. Just remind Palo Verde citizens that the big trash pickup is coming through. Please look on the interactive map on the website to see when your time is coming. So, and with that, just a happy birthday shout out to my wife, Joy, whose birthday is today. So, but I'd rather be here.
Oh, I'm sure.
For the record.
Joy prefer you to be here?
Yes, actually, yes.
Vice Mayor Binsbacher.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I want to say the moving wall ceremony was unbelievable, the whole experience. It was a fantastic community event, incredible way to spend the morning kicking that off. But I, too, want to congratulate Councilmember Patena and your leadership in bringing that here, and the special events team, because yes, so much does go in to pulling that together and making it such a flawless experience, and communications for all of your work. And Bill, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to be part of it and read that amazing poem. That was incredible, and I was just honored to be part of that ceremony. I also want to congratulate Chris Blunden, Captain Blunden. That video was incredible, and obviously the crew participated in the outcome of that call, but that video really represents not just what happens on the call, but what happens beyond the call and beyond the badge. And we're so fortunate to have the public safety in place that we do, with police and fire protecting our citizens and representing us the way that they do. And finally, I would like to congratulate Councilmember Dunn. Congratulations on your election, and I look forward to working with you for 4 years. Thank you.
Councilmember Edwards.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I wanted to do a shout out to Bill and to staff. You guys did a phenomenal job on the event. Also want to do a shout out to PUSD and Danielle Aries in particular. You know, we put the call in to have to see if we could get some students out there, and Bill had reached out to me and said, hey, can you reach out to your contacts at PUSD? And they, without hesitation, said, we'll get some people there. I had no idea that they'd have over 800 students visit that wall, but what a phenomenal event it was to see all those kids coming in bus after bus after bus, watching them go through and look at that wall and talking to the veterans and listening to some of the stories that they had to share. So again, Bill, thank you so much for bringing that great experience to the city of Peoria. And that's all I had, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Hunt.
Thank you, Mayor.
Well, I heartily concur with everything everyone has said about the wall. Having been to Washington DC and seen it several times, this was just really emotional to see it here and right in our own backyard. And thank you, Bill, for making it possible for people to experience that sense of emotion who possibly can't go to DC to see it. And especially, as you pointed out, the war ended before current high school kids were even born. And we teach history in school, but it's events like this that make it really come alive and really implant in our hearts. Well, I'll go from that very serious event to actually the mayor and I both participated in Cowabunga, which was the reading of a book called Clackety Clack Moo, the Cow That Typed, to preschoolers. And those of you that are snickering, it ain't that easy, okay, to keep those little guys engaged. And I don't know about you, Mayor, I really enjoyed it, and I'm so glad I taught high school. That just continues to remind me of that. We have several new businesses opening in Old Town now, and I just couldn't be prouder. Last week, I attended Peoria Chamber of Commerce ribbon cutting down at our CBD store right down here on Jefferson Street, just west of Grand Avenue. I don't know the exact, it's the only thing there, so you can't miss it if you go down there. CBD, of course, is touted now as a natural healing product, and to have our own store right here in Old Town, because I know many people use the CBD product. I'm not promoting it or denouncing it, either one. I'm just saying that it's here now, and we're so proud to have that particular new business. We also have 2 vintage stores around on the access road to Grand Avenue, Grand Manor Project Shop, which has only been open about 2 weeks. And if you haven't been in there, just go in planning to buy your Christmas presents there, because there's something for everybody, especially the women in your lives. And I do want to just say something here about the Peoria Chamber of Commerce. They are so active now with their new leader, and I know they are visiting Old Town almost daily with help and anything they can do to promote the businesses down here. So I would encourage anyone who has a business, if you're not a member, go ahead and join, because you will get so much benefit from it. They're just a really good organization. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Dunn.
I wanted to thank our first responders tonight. The video and the presentation, it was heartwarming to see, you know, how they engage with our community. So just a big shout out to all of our first responders. I also wanted to, I've been contacted by a lot of residents in the Pine District who are having to deal with feral cats. So been working with staff on how to approach that in the Pine District. And we're using a program, and they're doing a TRNR program. Basically, they trap the cats, they you know, spay and neuter them, and then they release them, because basically the overpopulation of these cats, if you don't release them back, then other cats will come and fill that space, and that problem continues to get worse. So I'm learning a lot, but listening to the residents, and they wanted some solutions with this. So staff was very helpful in creating a solution, and we're going to be implementing it right away, actually. We're also have the Park Fest coming up, and that's going to be at Country Meadows. And it's going to be based on services and things that are available to the residents. So they can come out and they can eat, they can have fun, but they're also going to get some education and some fun things, you know, from the fire department, the police department. So I hope everybody comes out and enjoys it with us on November 2nd, and that's going to be in Country Meadows Park for the Pine District. And last, I wanted to thank the residents who've already responded and signed up for the Citizens Committee or Advisory Committee. And so with the Pine District, what we're doing is we're trying to address residents that are, engaged and maybe see problems or things where we can do better. We're locking arms together, engaging with them, and we're meeting quarterly. And they're going to help solve, it's not just one council member, it's a whole council, it's a whole city. So the residents are going to be working to come up with solutions to local problems and get engaged. And that's really what a true sense of community is. So I wanted to thank the residents who have responded and signed up for that. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Youth Council Liaison Revendron?
Last week at our meeting, the Youth Advisory Board discussed mental health and possibilities to increase awareness on school campuses. And one of our ideas was trying to attend the West Valley Youth Leadership Conference where mental health is going to be discussed.
Thank you. Well, you guys are doing some really valuable stuff. We appreciate all that you're doing, and with that, we are adjourned.
That initial visit is usually an hour and a half to 2 hours that we spend. And that's looking at their overall healthcare needs. It's also doing a safety check in the home. We look for trip hazards. We look for, if it's for example, someone who's frequent falls, who's taking them to 911. We'll look for trip hazards. We'll get them resources if they need handrails, if they need walking support, that type of thing. It's kind of an all-encompassing visit, and we have the time and the luxury of time then in the community paramedicine realm to actually delve into the underlying, what we call social determinants of health, and see what needs may not be being met and try to connect them with the